Danny Siama. It's great to see Danny out there in the number 15 in his MG ZR. He's got one of these, but more in the Group S standard looking trim. Yes, it's going to be a rolling start for the MGs. They run over their grid boxes and come down, and there is the green flag, and away we go. And they absolutely charge from the line there. There goes Simon Elliott in his RV8. And there is the 95 of Jess and John Cox. Started off the second row of the grid. Will try and blast away. Michael Trathen just rattles down through the gearbox. Dab of the brakes. Blat. Brake late and turn. And that's what Michael Trathen does in car number 7. I'm used to saying car number 1. I've got to remember that that's Phil now.
Oh, yeah.
Car number 4 now pushing hard there. Garrick Ulmer had a great race yesterday. But have a look at this. 2 ZRs, Vollebrecht and Siama. So Anthony or Tony Vollebrecht in the one that says MCT Racing, and then Danny Siama in the Urban C entry, and then right in behind him, that's David Fagent. Danny Siama in the mix there, and these guys are just watching the cars out in front move away as in the number 15. So finding his light cars, the MG ZRs, and there we have three of them lined up now. And the one leading the way is Tony Vollebrecht to Danny Siama And then Chris Gidney in the 19. There's Chris's car. Great livery. Always looks good, Chris's car.
I've got to say, Darren, just watching the prior to that, just watching the approach on the little MGs down into turn 1 with all the ripples that are there, you've got to think that that's uncomfortable in the car. You can see the helmets bobbing around like, you know, a little Lego man in a Lego car. That can't feel great, can it?
You probably give a bit of a seasick feeling, I would suggest, would be the best thing. Have a look at this now. Gidney under brakes here. A little bit more difficult because he is now starting to race very similar cars to his own. But looking under brakes, getting over those bobbles there. Of course, the front-wheel drive cars always sprung a little bit stiffer and looked like they're jumping over those the bumps in the track across the top of the hill there. Just a little jump in revs, so they are getting a little bit light.
The bonnet's flapping a little bit on Chris Gidney's car there. I hope that doesn't become a problem.
Yeah, got the... So the bonnet pins look like they're all in place, but yeah, that's MG ZR160, the 190 next to him, indicating capacity. So the 160 now just ranging up on the 190. This would be a good little battle now, as Chris is certainly returning and wanting to find his way back into the sort of top 5 area of this event and getting into the draft now. We'll see at the bottom of the straight what happens there, but it is Gidney back to Bajan. Naim Aleph, a couple of big weeks for Naim, raced at Phillip Island last weekend. Drawing alongside now goes Chris Gidney down into turn 1 and under brakes. Oh, it's a brave move. The 15 just easing up, so Danny Siama just opened up the corner, which I've got to say is probably a wise decision because it was just going to be 2 cars trying to fit into one space in the end there, but Chris is on the ascendancy here, so he certainly made that manoeuvre and he made it stick. Not exactly forceful, but certainly staked his claim into turn 1 that time around as the 19 is like a cork out of a bottle, starts to move away from Danny Siama.
Yeah, Darren, as you say, that the MG Car Club and the guys out racing at the moment, they are very much the epitome of gentlemen and lady racers. They're very clean racers, very respectful. There's not a lot of door knocking going on. There's plenty of nose to tail, but it certainly doesn't get beyond that.
No, you don't see a lot of car-to-car damage in these events, and if it is, it's a genuine accident/mistake that has occurred. Of course, both Kayleen and Maddie are out there.
You wouldn't put your kids in if it wasn't safe, would you?
Yeah, that's true. Shirley St John Cox also in the number 92, one of the white Triumph TRs, the TR7 V8 of Shirley. There's the blue flag now being shown, so I would suggest that maybe there it is.
Phil.
There's the leaders.
If you didn't know, he's flashing.
With Shirley St John Cox just in front there. So this is the time of the weekend where Phil gets to spend some time with his daughters as he drives past them in their MGFs.
I'm feeling sorry for these guys on turn one with the little bobbleheads going. That's got to be so uncomfortable. It's like the porpoising of a couple of years ago with the F1s.
It is, isn't it? Pushing on very nicely indeed in the MGs. Open top racing, and you can tell these three love it. Phil Chester on the flash there. Up on the ripple strip there.
No fear of the ripple strip, these guys. It's fantastic.
Not at all. That's
okay,
Richard
Phil.
Vollebrecht. looking in the mirrors too. Being driven very nicely there. Richard Vollebrecht doing a good job, keeping an eye out. John Makeham's going to make it difficult for Phil. A couple of good mates off the track. And John Makeham says, yeah, righto, go through there. Not that you had any argument for it, John. He was coming through. Now, Chris Gidney has made his way up onto Tony Vollebrecht in the yellow ZR. And this is a really charging drive by Chris. He's certainly letting everyone know he's back, even though they know he's got an issue. Just over 6 minutes left, Em. Let's hope that the battery for Chris can withstand the pressure over the next couple of laps.
I'd say making up places is a console. To getting through with the battery intake or the battery power.
Look at this. This is not what we wanted to see.
No, Chris. That can't be commentator's curse, Darren.
No, it can't. We went into the race with the number.
flashing lights.
Where's he come through the field now? He's actually all the way up to 4th position in this race. So Phil Chester charging, and Simon Elliott is a long way back now, 15 seconds further back. Still 2.5 minutes left to go. And, Gary Bulmer, the number 4 now, it's running rough. It sounds like he's dropped a plug lead or something like that as well. So a couple of cars starting to ail a little bit. And Phil Chester's gone another 5 seconds gap to Simon Elliott. A 104.75 to Phil Chester on lap number 3. And there's Phil just disappearing out of the bottom of the shot now at the back straight. He's got James Dodd and then Maddie just in front there. So he'll be looking to get past the green car. There's Jefferson John Cox. And right inside, this is position 4 and 5 on the road, Tony Vollebrecht. He's right in behind the Triumph now. And in fact, the 15 of Danny Siama is right in behind him. So the 2 yellow ZRs are together now, and they have made their way into close company with the Triumph TR7 V8.
Just having a look at the timing, Darren. Phil on lap 3 did a 104.7. That's pretty bloody rapid.
He is, and Simon Elliott on lap 4 did a 105.49, but Phil's now eased right out to a 107.04, and Simon Elliott's just come across the line. That lead to Phil is now out to 22 seconds, but this battle, this is absolutely raging. In fact, we'll just do some housekeeping here. The 2 yellow cars coming through are actually on the lead lap, and they're actually 5th and 6th in the race. The Triumph front and centre, that number 95, is just in front of them. So these 3 cars coming down here, excluding the number 88, the Austin Healey Sprite of Ewan Giles, is out of place with this lot. But these cars they're battling it out for top 5 finish at the moment.
Yeah,
the 95, the 48 and the 15 are 4, 5 and 6 on the road.
Super competitive and a great mix of cars too. It's an unlikely mix of cars in a category as well, Darren.
It certainly is. And then when you look at the car that's third on the road, and I still scratch my head on the way home from a race meeting when I review what we've done for the day, and I go, Mike Tratton in the 3 again. Absolutely in there. And congratulations to him, because he's doing something very, very well. And his fellow competitors are just not quite sure what that is, because I'm sure they'd like to replicate it.
Well, this is the thing, and I don't want to put anyone else down out there, but that's...
probably a similar car to Phil's, essentially underneath all of that, but just
Phil's got a 0.6 on him, doesn't he? So that's a 5 litre of Simon's,
Yes,
and then
yes.
Phil's is a 5.6 litre.
Yep. There's, I'm not sure that there's a whole lot of horsepower difference, but it's just the fact that Simon Elliott is the weekend here, the Vic Trophy Tour, round 2, 888 home loans. Calder rock and revived. The MG Racing goes to Phil Chester, and a massive gap. Gary Bulmer takes a checkered flag as he is just trickling to the line in position number 12. This great battle has raged all on. What happened there in the end? Jefferson John Cox 4th, Bollebrecht and Siama, and it is